what do you think success has cost you?
I think when I was younger, I was too driven. I was very, very driven. It probably comes, as you mentioned before, we have a similar background. You're also a very driven person. To prove myself for something, coming from a single mother, not very affluent, but she had brains and her family is smart, and maybe my father. You have to prove yourself, and that was very driven. So in the beginning, up till I was 40, I think I needed to prove myself, and I was very hard to myself.
And was that proving yourself to yourself or to other people who may have doubted you?
Yeah. No, I never. I was lucky. I was good in sports when I was young, so I wasn't down. And it was a martial art, which makes no one. They don't tease you. So I was lucky in that sense.
Right.
Being able. I think everyone should know martial art in the sense. I think that fosters. I don't know any bully who did martial art. There might be, of course, but you don't need to, because you feel confident in yourself, and no one touches you. So it's very convenient. And having a normal, decent look, you also are accepted by everyone, which is not always great. You don't appreciate it enough that you're lucky, because that's luck. And then choices you make or others do for you, you grow up. But all that helps you during your life.
I can relate to that because I think growing up in a situation where my immediate household, family, whatever, certainly let me believe like you can be anything you want to be, but certainly society was not thinking that way, right? Oh, you're going to end up being a drug dealer, you're going to go to jail. You know, that the sort of the chances were, you know, if you just looked at it statistically. And so there was always this maybe burning desire to prove to myself that not so much that I believed what anyone else said, but just, I could be anything. And it's all your environment, your circumstances. It has nothing to do with, you know.
I don't think my parents didn't believe I would be anything. And I think partly to prove them wrong. And I had friends who were good and bad, some good at school. I had some who didn't become 20 years old for different reasons, who also ended up on the wrong side of the law. So I think it was mainly to prove for everyone else that I was good enough. And that, I think, is not a good... It's a driver in your life, but it also makes you not appreciate what you have and being happy for things.
So that's another one that and this is something I wouldn't say I struggle with, but I think a lot about, because to get to this point, whether it's through drive or ambition, and we were just talking about the cost of success, there's really not a lot of balance.
No.
It's just hard, right? There's only so many hours in a day, and the more you're able to take on, you just do. And if you're like me, and I know you are, it just means you sacrifice sleep, you sacrifice your health a little bit, just so you can take care of your family and your job, and then you come last. So what do you think? And these days, I would say you hear a lot about balance, which, I get it. It's important. I just think there's not a lot of it, right?
No.
I mean, if you're, it's just hard to do all of those things really well. And I don't care if this is sports, business. So what do you think ambitious people get wrong about balance? Like, you can't do what you did and balance everything. I think it's impossible.
It's very, very hard. I mean, right now, if you have Eileen Gu, I don't know if I pronounce her name right, the Chinese-American skier.
Yes.
Who is doing, she seems to have it figured out. I don't. Because balancing is super hard. And accepting yourself for what you are and not trying. I think the driver that makes some people successful is also a negative force. And try to balance that and enjoying life and your near and dear ones, and still being successful. You can figure that one out, you're a winner in life, not competition-wise.
Right.
But and that's you asked before. I think I was a bit negative and hard to myself and my surroundings, or believing in my head said, of course, no, I don't care about money and I don't need a Porsche to be happy. But in my heart, I still thought so.
Right.
And it took some life experience going wrong in my life to realize what really, really was important. And I think I know today, but it's still hard. You don't live like that all the time. So I think appreciating life, friends, family, that is the most... If you don't do that, you pay the ultimate price. I think that is happiness, nothing else.
Yeah. I remember a doctor... I'll be 52 in a few months, and this doctor, who's a close friend of mine, just telling me, like, you can't burn the candle at both ends. Like, it doesn't work. And I only knew sacrifice and forget about balance. Like, there was always a greater good that was worth paying that price. And when you look at people working 3-4 jobs before you, of course, it doesn't seem like a big thing, but something I've now tried to do is just cut out more of the unnecessary, things in life, and actually be what I feel like is selfish. And I think you are like that too, a little bit, where you are focusing on yourself, trying to get your health right, trying to make sure that you're in the right place, and then you can be there for your daughter and for work, and you can't just run wild and like that just doesn't work. And that's something I've learned, and I think you've been leading the way, at least for me, on that. So
I think you've been a good role model as well over the years, and taking care of your family in a good way instead of just running for the money. And I think seriously, I think that's been very, very inspiring for me. And I think it doesn't have to be black or white, but you have to know your priorities. And I've burned, as you said as well. I've been doing the night thing until 4 in the morning, going to work at 7 and pretending that everything is fine, and done a decent job and commuting the distance. And I've been commuting all my life, and 80-90% of the time I've had 2 jobs. From the company, same company, but still doing in 2 geographical locations. And you think you can do that and taking care of your family and having fun at the same time. And you think you have to do it, and you have to... it's not that I think I'm Superman or anyone else thinks anyone is, but it's just doing it and not thinking. Because in the end, you burn your candle, and that's not good. And you just have to... not being oversensitive about things, because we are having a luxury life compared to so many people in the world. But take care of it. I think commuting or working 10 hours or 12 hours or 14 hours is not the end of the world. You just don't have to feel stressed about it. You have to appreciate it and be thankful for you have the opportunity to do something fun, and you have a fantastic family, you have good friends, and enjoy that. And then working a lot or traveling is not a big problem.
Well, now I think that's more front of mind, because you have, my mom has been, a mental health professional for, I don't know, almost 40 plus years. And so I think now we're appreciating more the importance of mental health and physical health, and not just, grinding that sort of like crazy culture, which is good. I don't know if it truly hits like balance, but certainly, it's probably a better way to do it, and not burn out and stay fresh and be able to adjust to the times. But, I think I appreciate you joining me today, and I learned a lot, sort of being a little bit more introspective, but just thinking about our, last, like I said, almost 20 years, and just sitting here today, I feel like you know, careers are not just kind of this like perfect straight line, and I don't get the feeling that you planned it perfectly to be this way, and you were opportunistic, you appreciated, took advantage, created these opportunities, and I think that's amazing. And you know what you've done to overcome adversity over and over and over again, and even you know the you know, some things that no one should ever have to deal with. I think a lot of people can learn from and be inspired by, and we should definitely sit down and do this again, you know, at some point. Yeah. But, you know, thank you for sharing the journey, and thank you for, you know, being here in the room.
Thank you. And I mean, you're part of the reason why I'm back in Japan working again. A couple of years ago when I left H&M, I was doing some consulting in Europe, and then I figured out where do I want to spend the next couple of years. And partly I was thinking of all my experiences. I worked in 14 different countries all over the world, and you're a big part of why I enjoyed my time in Japan so much. So coming back to Japan, I thought was maybe the best way to finish a career and a life. I was thinking, I wasn't thinking career-wise. I was thinking, where do I want to spend the next couple of years in my life? And I was thinking back to US or Europe or Asia, and I think the most enjoyable time of my life I had in Tokyo, in Japan. So, and that was partly thanks to you, of course. And so I said, let's go back. And partly thanks to you, and now I'm doing something else. I enjoy my life here very, very much.